nothing in their series against Sync Esports before losing 3 straight and Sync advancing on as a result. Druids, on the other hand, they got swept. That's why they were here in the first place. They did beat Complexity, though, to get to this point. So that's kind of the quick recap. Again, you saw the bracket on your screen. You can also go to HaunTour.com/DBL to check out all the information and updates for yourself. With that said, though, we are already well into the draft here of what is game number 1 of this best of 5. But before we get too much into it, got to, of course, introduce my co-caster for today. Going to be joined by Shorecan. How's it going, man?
Hey, man. It's going good. A little bit tired, but I mean, I got time for this. It's going to be a good series, I hope.
Yeah.
For sure, actually.
Yeah, no, I'm expecting a pretty good one here because, again, both these teams obviously know they can compete and whatnot, but Druids is the interesting one for me, and I'm sure a lot of people, because, again, this is a team that they have kind of been, as far as a lot of play lately, haven't had a whole lot of it. Again, they got 3-0'd by Sync, and frankly, they didn't look that great, to be honest, against them. Against Complexity, on the other hand, they really did show up, and, of course, they won that series then 3-0 themselves. So we know that they may be finding a little bit of momentum here, but obviously has Reason Gaming is as well. I mean, this is a team that maybe a lot of people were almost underestimating going into this DreamHack event coming up around the corner, yet they're proven that they're a team with a lot of firepower left in them. So, yeah, I really have no clue. I would not be surprised if this one goes the distance. So it's going to be fun to see how it turns out. Anyways, enough of that rambling on here. Let's see what the draft's looking like. We got the initial bans were Flux, Warbeast, Ophelia, Parasite. We had Moira into Puppet Master, Cthulhu Font into Midas, Sandwraith into Tremble coming out right here. So what is your take on the picks and all the initial bans and everything so far, Shorecan?
Well, I mean, you immediately see from Reason's side, you just see that global presence with the Sandwraith and the Moira, which has been like focused on a lot in these last few series, actually. Like, a lot of people are valuing Flux, Moira, Sandwraith, all these, even Thunderbringer.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on the other side, you have like the dual carry, the dual core, which I really like with Puppet Master, first of all, because he doesn't seem like the hardest of carries unless he has really great farm. And then there's Tremble, who can just farm incredibly fast once he has a Thunderclaw.
Yeah.
Whereas Puppet Master can focus more on ganking, for example. So they're setting up, first of all, to have strong lanes, and second of all, to have, a pretty strong late game. But then on the other side, we have Reason Gaming with Sandwraith and FCD. So both teams going for the late game,
yeah,
it looks like.
That's very safe to say, with both teams having 2 carries, really, in that sense. Reason Gaming, though, again, looking back at them, that Corrupted Disciple pickup, this is something that they especially have been running quite a bit of with the Corrupted Disciple in the hands of Immo Boy. But it is interesting seeing that Sandwraith on top of that, because that not usually is a thing. I don't know, because we're so used to seeing Imbo Boy playing the Corrupted as of late. I got to assume that's still going to be in his hands. But then where does that mean Sandwraith is going to end up? We have seen Sync run a Suicide Sandwraith even to an extent. I mean, so we've seen that kind of make an appearance here and there. You think that's going to be a possibility, I guess?
I don't know. It seems more like, Masera is playing for Reason right now. So they could switch it around a bit for that reason.
Huh.
Okay, but it does look like it's going to be a Suicide Sandwraith. And to a certain extent, I agree with it, but I'm just worried about Sandwraith's recovery potential, because he does have the potential to gank with the Moira, of course, but Bubbles is really going to have to be in on it for there to be enough damage when Sandwraith reaches level 6.
Yeah.
So that's going to be like an important factor, that they get those ganks off, because otherwise I have a feeling that Puppet Master can snowball out of control, out of the laning phase.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Masera is playing here, of course, near the one he is replacing for today. Obviously, again, I assume it's just a ringer situation, nothing more than that. But stepping in for the day because, well, Nier perhaps just had other obligations to take care of. That whole darn real life getting in the way. Anyways, Engineer, the final pick for Druids over here. Going to be in the hands of Iceland Gogo, it looks like, actually. So they do end with a dual support themselves. And people are already readied up now. So, yeah, it is going to be Sandwraith being played by Zane, Corrupted Disciple, again, in the hands of Immo Boy. On the side of Druids, we got Tremble. What did they? Oh, well, okay.
Oh, my God.
So maybe we're
Why
not
does this
ready.
happen?
I don't know,
Why
man.
does this always happen, man?
It's difficult, apparently, to
Yeah.
select the right heroes. Yeah, I think
It,
they meant to give Probusk Tremble.
so is it going to be the same situation as last time? You know, same lanes, same
Oh
wards, same
God,
region.
don't
Oh
let's not
God,
talk about that.
that was a
Yeah,
fun time.
yeah, we're
Mm.
coming off that. That was against Complexity of that game 3. That was an interesting time to be had. But yeah, no, the obviously nothing happening there, so not really needed to worry about that necessarily. But
Yeah.
so okay, but it is going to be a Probusk, I'm guessing, on the Tremble here.
Yeah, I
So
think so too. He makes a point of it to not play Puppet Master because he personally doesn't like the hero very much. So
yeah.
yeah, then they have Zebe playing it usually because Zebe knows how to play that hero well. So what I'm assuming it's going to be an aggressive tri lane with a Puppet Master, NG, Andrew.
Okay.
That seems pretty possible in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, those are obviously. It seems like it's a pretty good trial. And on top of it, they got the lead stun with technically kind of Puppet to an extent, but also Andromeda, of course. They got good follow up and definitely a lot of pressure. And they're going up what's going to be a jungling Cthulhu-fon, of course, you could safely guess. So if you're expecting the aggressive trial lane from Druids, what do you do if you're Reason then? Because do you maybe send the Bubbles down there, have him match up against that, or?
Yeah, I was thinking that because it does seem like there's a lot of potential for CD to get good farm middle because he has all the skills you need from like a farming mid hero. He has this AoE that allows him to push out the lanes for runes, and he can also get last hits with it, as well as harass.
Mm-hmm.
And with him being against the Midas, he's gonna have a slight issue with damage, of course, because Midas does hit quite hard. But at the same time, he's got his AoE. Like he shouldn't do too bad.
Yeah.
I would say. He's not like a melee versus ranged situation.
No. Nice new clan, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Take Effect,
That's
nice
from a while
clan,
back, right?
noob.
Yeah.
Gosh, this guy.
What a
Mr.
guy.
I refuse to tag.
Yeah. Same thing as owned me, man. Like.
Yeah,
I think
that too.
it just
I'm
bothers
kind
me.
of hoping for for DreamHack at least. I hope that we even enforce it to an extent, because yeah, it just looks nice. I'm not asking these guys to be crazy professional by any means. Just asking a little bit of something simple like that. Let's just all tag up the same. Come on now.
Yeah.
Get that team
I mean,
camaraderie.
the American teams finally have it down with tagging up all the same because I remember that Quincy had an issue with that before, but that's that it wasn't like that big of a deal because it was Gold Cycle and stuff that we were casting together, but at the same time it's like look professional and then feel more professional. I mean, if you want to be awesome, just feel awesome, you know?
Yeah, yeah. We'll see if they take my insight there. All right, so we're gonna have a photo pause here to kick things off. As far as game number 1 is concerned. Okay, guys. So yeah, well, obviously we're in for a treat today. Again, this is a best of 5, of course. Going to be going possibly the distance with these two teams clashing. Would not be surprised, but definitely expecting just overall a good series. I mean, this is one of these matchups where there's just no doubt in my mind. I mean, if we have a stomp of sorts, I mean, I would be completely shocked for one way or the other. So definitely, once again, expecting just overall a very good series here.
Who do you think is going to take it?
Oh, geez, the ultimate question, huh?
The ultimate question, like
Yeah.
quickly, before anything happens.
Reason Gaming. If you're going to put me on the spotlight like that, a gun to my head, so to an extent, I mean, it's just Reason Gaming. I would have to choose them. I was really impressed with their performance against Sync Esports on Thursday. And obviously having that 2-0 lead even at that point, ultimately losing it in the end, of course, but hey, not many teams can even do that against Sync Esports.
Yeah, and it was a 2-0 advantage. It was insane. Like, I was there watching the game.
Yeah.
Snowy was casting it, so I was just hanging around, making sure to watch it. But they were just looking really solid.
Yeah.
Like, they looked disciplined, and that's exactly what you want versus a team like Sync who tend to go, they go the distance in terms of let's gank, let's do everything, let's all be there. And then if they waste their time, they'll end up on top. They'll end up with more GPM, and yeah, Reason is a team that also knows how to take it late game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's nice.
Well,
but
Reason's interesting too because again, they here they are. Obviously, they are going to DreamHack and everything, and they're a 4th team to qualify, so even qualifying for BMG to that extent and whatnot. But there have been a lot of several people behind the scenes. You know, we've kind of have been having discussions here and there about who we think's how the DreamHack event is going to be going. So it's in a pause here, just going a little bit off topic, but anyways, how the DreamHack event's going to be going, and a lot of people seem in agreement that, you know, Reason's the one team that we're just unsure of. I know that they're a younger team to an extent. I believe Imba Boy and Zane, obviously they're brothers, we know that by now, but they're somewhat younger. I believe overall somewhat younger. You know, Tankafet, kind of the only one that's going to bring that overall LAN experience, but as a team, they obviously are new with that. Again, the Reason Gaming organization with the name kind of has that history of like where they didn't even make it to a DreamHack in the past, so there's that kind of going against them, and you know, so basically there's the impression that not really expecting a whole lot out of them, perhaps out of the NAEU teams at least. So, but I gotta say, and I was kind of under that same boat until Thursday though, when they played like they did against Sync Esports, ultimately losing the series, but they really did show. But I know LAN is a different environment, man. But if they're able to bring at least close to that firepower, then this is going to be a team that will do very well at DreamHack with a lot of potential. So. But, yeah, that's kind of the Reason thing there.
I don't know Macera to be a support player.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Nier again, not here, so.
I've seen him in Suicide and semi-support. I mean, sorry, Suicide and Parasite.
Yeah.
So far. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does with Moira, because it is one of those heroes that you really need to get practice with, and I know that Serenia plays it really, really well. Like, he always makes a point of it, actually, to go into the back with his illusion and just stop the entire enemy team. Mm-hmm. All the follow-up from the enemy team will just be stopped by that one ultimate. It's pretty. It's quite pretty how he does it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah, no doubt that really is interesting. I mean, the fact that he even says it in chat right there, like, what is this role? I mean, that's something that Reason is going to have to overcome here to an extent. Yeah, that's not the easiest support. That's not a Glacius support or anything like that, where it's just very simple concept, you know. You click on a guy, it freezes him and whatnot. Not to say that he's not a good player, obviously, but Moira's definitely up there when it comes to, you know, being comfortable playing this support hero. It's you want to be active with there with the Ephemeral Forge, of course, knowing when to use that Arcane Vortex, because that can, in a sense, screw you over if you use it at a wrong time. So that's going to be crucial too. But all right, we got the lanes coming up here, and all right, so they just sent Bubbles bottom. It's going to be Puppet NG down here. They just sent Andro middle right away though, against the Sandwraith. So these lanes actually turned out pretty interesting here.
I think definitely in, you know, advantage of Druids right now, because although Cthulhuphon can gank middle really, really easily because there's no vision there from the Hellborn side.
Yeah.
You're still trying to gank a Tremble, who's really quick in his mounts, and an Andromeda, who has a stun, with a Sandwraith. That's the biggest part, with a Sandwraith. If it was a Magnus, then I'd understand. Then they could get kills.
Yeah.
Or even, like, I'm just throwing out a name, Bombardier or Midas, you know, something that does a lot of damage. But Sandwraith, he's just not going to cut it. So he's going to have to try and focus on top lane. But Midas, same situation. He's very slippery. And unless they can get the silence and the stun from Moira on him, plus the Cthulhuphon stun, Midas isn't going to go down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you see Samurai taking some pressure right there. But yeah, Midas, most certainly more of the tankier style of this range aspects as you're getting at. So he's, in fact, pretty close to his tower right now, even the lane getting somewhat pushed up here. So I will say we have been seeing Reason Gaming do a bit of this aggressive Corrupted Disciple as well. We've been seeing Imba Boy playing in the aggressive lane lately quite a bit, whether it's with Valkyrie, whether it's with this Corrupted Disciple here. So Reason Gaming kind of, you know, this seems to be their new flavor strategy even of what they like to do. Have you kind of been noticing that as well?
Yeah, I've noticed it a lot with Valkyrie, and I've even seen it with Clanks once.
Yeah.
But that's a bit more rare, and it's you know, quite a lot more difficult to pull off because you need to secure his farm, and it needs to be absolute free farm. Otherwise, you're losing out with that hero.
Yeah. Andromeda roaming over. Bubbles took a lot of pressure right there. In fact, you see right now, he is out of regen. I mean, he has plenty of stats, 4 minor totems and a Pretender's Crown, but not having regen will hurt, and he didn't have any vision of Andromeda coming down, so he actually may be in a lot of trouble right here. Again, the hold won't really do a whole lot as he can shell surf away, so they need Andromeda to lead here.
And if he dodges the comet, then
yeah,
it's going to be Oh, they might have seen him going in there though.
They did. Now they got to capitalize. Andromeda running in. Can he port in time? Yes, he can. He has to take. Oh, he used it early. Something procced it right there. And now he's in trouble. He's going to fall. Bloodlust kill comes out. I don't know what that was about. The take cover went off. Oh, was it when he shell surfed initially? That's right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the fake cast was there from Serenia. Oh, top lane.
Well played. Oh, yeah, they do dive Midas at least, so a counter kill.
Quite
but,
far.
Yeah.
And they didn't even use Corrupt Conduit, so that's kind of weird, because you get vision with that, of course. With Corrupt Disciple's W skill, so the fact that they were able to find him that deep in the woods is surprising.
Yeah.
So well played by them, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, Bubbles, do you think that was a misplay, or was that just more so well played by Druids and not much to do with that?
It's just one of those situations where it's instinct to shell surf and then take cover so
Yeah.
that you don't get stunned before you can shell surf. But in this situation, both NG, Cake Stun, and the Comet are very easy to dodge with take cover, and there was nothing near to Puppet Show, so it was a misplay in the end.
Yeah, at this tier of level, you got to think that that you could safely call it a misplay, exactly. So, Own Me would like a second chance at that. Well, he may get one, as they're going to go in once again. So here we go. There's a take cover, and this time a lot more effective, obviously, as his positioning was more safer, you could say. And he gets away. So, but they really are going to keep at it. I mean, still well, no, Andromeda is moving now. She is heading towards the middle lane. Insisting
Yeah,
on that movement here.
Sandrith has gotten quite a lot, to be honest. He has
Yeah.
250 GPM, which is essentially a suicide lane for him. And because Andrew was there at the start, and then on the other side, Probusk is at 340, but similar to Clanks, you really want that quick GPM on Tremble so that he can get that lightning and then just start farming triple stack ancients.
Samurth right there, kind of getting some poke damage from Andromeda, but yeah, exactly. That was the downside of Andrew going to the bottom lane. Sure, got the bloodless kill, so in essence worth it, but obviously Samurai did open up plenty of farm for him. Man, middle lane, Cthulhu Font coming in, but as he does, Tremble happens to be scouting out with Boris, playing very safe, and he's going to spot the Moira right there. And eventually will be fine. Obviously, he had a mount right there, too.
Is Moira going to die? Don't tell me Moira's
from
going
the
to die.
pet?
Please.
No, there's no way.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's actually doing some good damage. You're right. Actually, top
If
lane
he puts
Crimson's
a
gonna be
mount-
fine, but no. Okay.
Oh,
He decides to back
man,
off.
after that, when the stun was used,
Yeah.
he should have made a mound and Tremble port.
Oh, that's
That
true.
would've-
Yeah, gone for it. Yeah. Bottom lane, by the way, Engineer gets picked off. You see Cthulhu Font being down here, helping a lot. And Sandwraith even assisting with the Desert's Curse. So good rotation coming out. Andromeda placing a Rev Ward. Wanted to block a camp, I guess. Happens to be a little bit later of a block, but
I mean,
that's a dangerous spot.
it's the little things, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
And holy, like it did stop it from being stacked right now, and it's gonna frustrate them. And what if they manage to see it now only after 3 minutes, and then they try and counter ward it, but then it's a rev ward, so it's already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
like
awkward.
potentially wastes a lot of resources.
But yeah, I mean, right now, 2-1 hero kill advantage in favor of the Legion side. So, yeah, perhaps Tremble missing on a kill opportunity himself, but insisting on staying at the middle lane here and continuing to farm instead. So, obviously, that is a power of Tremble, the fact that he can move so early on in the game with those mounds. Right now, you do see a mound at both the bottom, top, and the middle lane. So, Probusk has made a priority of that at least, as Boris is down here.
Yeah, he also maxed it, which is the common build to do, because not only does it make you have more mounds, it allows you to regen in lane, so that you have more of a laning presence. It's really difficult to keep a Tremble out of lane when he's constantly regenning 8 HP per second.
That is ridiculous. Jeez. Yeah, I didn't even realize how skilled with it. Yeah, I know he's kind of changed a bit, so yeah, the 8 health regen. He's going to the bottom
No,
lane. Yes, he is. Uh-oh, Corrupted in a lot of trouble. Corrupted down here, so they did some rotations coming out, but he's in a lot of trouble now. Cthulhu Font trying to get here in time. He might not want to, though, because damage already done. Corrupted does fall right there, and now Cthulhu Font on the run. He is going to trample away and will survive. Obviously, that's an illusion Moira, but yeah, there's the movement from Tremble, just as we're talking about, and he ports right back to the middle lane now.
And Cthulhu Font,
Oh, wow.
I don't
Good
know
God.
what he was doing. He literally just walked back in.
Yeah, I went away because I wasn't expecting that at all.
Who expects that?
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, I mean, look at the carries on the Hellborn side right now. They're looking really good,
mhm.
and I'm so glad Puppet is going for the Shroud instead of the the Whispering Helm. I've seen time and time again where people say, "Oh, I want to recover," or blah de blah with when you have another carry on the team. No, you just
Yeah.
need your Shroud and go get kills.
So are you just flat out a fan of not getting Whispering Helm, just always Shroud first on this hero?
Unless you're solo carrying. If you're
Okay.
solo carrying and you're going to take out triple stacks, then Whispering Helm for sure, because you can also stack the Ancients for yourself and you don't have to waste the support to do that.
Yeah.
But when you're dual carrying, Tremble, I would say, has more of like priority
Okay.
in terms of getting the farm because he really carries hard. And although he is melee versus a Corrupt Disciple, that Nullfire Blade that he might pick up could completely wreck CD as well. Mid lane.
Yeah, they're going to be going right here. Boris net on a Sandwraith. Does he have an ultimate? He does, but he can't use it. Puppet Show. The Voodoo Puppet's out. Not going to be enough to get away as they snipe him down. So Puppet Master rotating. Not often you see the two carries kind of coming together for a kill, but that's exactly what happened right there. Again, both of these quote-unquote carry heroes do have that potential once again in Tremble and Puppet Master. So Druids is taking advantage of that, to say the least. And Tremble now 400 plus gold per minute. Something else I'm noticing, in fact, talking about it right there with the Sandwraith, but he hasn't used his Mirage yet. We're coming up to 10 minutes into this game.
No, he did. He
Did
did.
he?
He ganked bottom
Oh,
to kill the
okay.
engineer.
You're right. Yeah, he did. Okay. You're right. Never mind then.
Good
And
defense.
Gonna
though,
use it
from
right
Legion
here,
side.
actually. Yeah, they're gonna try to defend right here. Gonna kill him Tremble. That would be
No.
big. I don't know, though. Kelfield does land. Kind of trying to hold him in place. Tremble decides to take the stun, but at what cost there? Because the ball trambles in. Down goes one, down goes two. And a double tap for the team. The rest will get on out of there. So, well, that did work out for a reason in the end.
They did get the tower, though. It wasn't denied, but it just felt kind of awkward because Krake hit one person with his combo when they were all stacked up. And, I mean, you pick a Midas for the AoE effect, and if you don't hit more than one person, it's not AoE, I would assume. So,
That's a
yeah.
great insight right there.
Great insight, yeah.
If you
No,
only
but
hit
I
one
mean-
target, it's not AoE targets. Yeah, okay. Anyways.
Haha. Anyway, so Tremble did just pick up his lightning, which is really great. So he's gonna start farming the woods soon. There are some stacks already, so they've made a slight point of it. I mean, it's not too extreme or anything,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Sandwraith here, you're not. We shouldn't expect anything crazy like a mock, right? I mean, he's more of the secondary carry almost in this role. So
It's difficult to say because at the same time, CD doesn't carry that hard.
okay,
In the end, like I think Sandwraith is a harder carry ultimately, but it all depends on whether they want to fight mid game or not. Because I mean, if they want to just keep dodging, which they have the ability to with both the Bubbles, Sandwraith, and the Moira, to keep vision of everything, then if he gets a mock, he is given the chance to recover, and he does do an insane amount of damage with his ultimate. Like Andromeda and Engineer are really gonna feel that. But at the same time, if they need to fight early, Energizer, even Basher, these are all items that could be very effective.
yeah, okay, yeah. We'll
I
see
say
what
could
Zing
be.
goes for.
Yeah, I
be.
say it could be because it's difficult to say when you're against both a Tremble and a Puppet Master who have they have pretty good CC when it comes down to it. So Sandwraith ultis in and then has a chance to just get demolished entirely if he ports in wrong.
Yeah, no, that's it. It does seem like it is a pretty tough game here, and especially considering Corrupted did go the Energizer already. So usually somewhat popular of an item on Sandwraith earlier on, perhaps too, but for that reason, you'd think if not going to be seeing it, if anything, on him. So
Robuska's just last hitting with Boris, by the way.
Yeah, that's
He's just standing
strats.
back and letting Boris hit.
That's interesting. I
mean-
wonder if he's trying to make it seem like he's gone elsewhere for some reason, or he's just.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. It almost seems inefficient, but I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, he could just go to the woods right now if he's doing this with Boris anyways. I
Yeah.
mean, look, there's stacks. There's no one farming them. He's not going to stack them either, or is he?
Yeah, I guess it's a very safe way to farm, to be fair, but yeah, it does seem a little silly. I mean, from what we can see on the minimap, obviously there's no sign of danger whatsoever for him right now.
But then again, we have God Vision. And,
We do.
He doesn't.
It's kind of cheating. Top lane, speaking of it, Sandwraith, he's the one in trouble, actually. He does have Mirage, but again, it's the same lockdown as earlier. He just can't do anything about it. Puppet Master and Tremble coming together to secure an easy kill onto Sandwraith there. And this is without a Shroud. I mean, he just got his broadsword, so that's coming up too.
It's just so weird to have a Sandwraith in top lane. Like, why isn't Bubbles there trying to get some farm? I mean, he could effectively be ganked in the same way, but he still has a chance to escape, whereas Sandwraith really doesn't.
I think he has a much better chance, you could argue, to take over the Shellsurf, of course.
Yeah. Unless he ultis away, but that's still using an ulti that could be potentially used to gank.
Speaking of Bubbles, by the way, what do you think of Onmi's choice to go Striders here? The struggle's real, or?
Yeah, the struggle is real for one, and second of all, PK is just such an amazing item on Bubbles. The moment they're out of position, when you're Bubbles, you can, ulti silence 4, maybe 5 of them, if they're really stacked up. It's the same effect as Behemoth, of course, less damage, but in terms of, creating chaos, it does quite well.
Yeah. Samurai, I think Crothers have all been played together once before in a win. Was that by reason, by chance? That actually wouldn't surprise me if they were the only team to do it before. But
mid lane.
Yep, middle lane. Andromeda. He's going to get caught, will fall. But a nice energy field. Arcane Vortex stalling, though. Beautiful Kex done as well. Tankafed, he had to run through that energy field several times, and that cost him his life in the end. Well played by Angie, but it's not over just yet. Crypto Disciple runs in, but Boris locks him down. And look at him, my boy, just drop like it's hot right there. Puppet Master will fall as Bubbles ports away with the Shell Surf. It's not over just yet, though. Boris, does he have a net coming up? We don't know, but not going to use it if he did. They will fall back, so the end of the fight's happening there. But, man, you saw Corrupted when he went in. Just the burst that happened on him in the midst of that fight.
Yeah, but at the same time, a really well-played fight by Reason. I don't know how they did it, but they managed to kill Puppet Master, who wasn't even in the fight originally. I mean, it was... who was it being initiated on? I think Engineer?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, Engineer was being initiated on, and yet when Puppet came out of the Moira ultimate... while I'm talking.
All bottom line.
When Puppet came out of the Moira ultimate, he was really low, so I don't know if he had just been farming or something, and just joined the fight when he was really low HP, because that would have been weird.
No.
But, yeah. Bottom lane.
Yeah, we see they're thinking about going in. Well, Cthulhu Font getting a little too comfortable, and actually may cost him his life right there. No, the trample away. Going to be fine for now. Onmi as well. There's the port with the Shell Surf, but he got caught immediately after, and he goes down. So already is one casualty, possibly still more. Boris still wants his chase. Again, not sure if he has a net coming up just yet, but it's got to be soon, if anything. Moira going to be sending herself in with the illusion. No Arcane Vortex just yet, though. Shards of Harkon coming out. Going to throw out the stun. It does have her ultimate if she wants it, but more so just going to be a distraction. So at least help save Cthulhu Font, but Bubble's dead, and now this is probably going to be a bottom tower push.
And a Shrunken picked up. Holy crap.
Already?
Shrunken
Jeez.
on Tremble. Yeah, that's insane. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Is that the best item here, though? I mean, I'm looking at this Legion team. It doesn't seem like Shrunken's the greatest, honestly.
I think what you have to remember is that the only way for him to actually be locked down is through Arcane Vortex, if he has a Shrunken.
Okay.
And so that's already a big plus, but second thing you have to remember that when Sandwraith gets levels, his Dissipate does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
People always underestimate it, but 16% damage reduction in AoE.
Okay.
His E-spell, reflected as magic damage. It's not superior, so you're going to ignore all of that. And, it depends on Zane going for, like, a tanky build or not, but he should.
Yeah.
If he goes for the Mach, because it looks like he's going for a Mach.
You're right. Wow. Yeah. 2,500 gold saved up. So, man, I guess I kind of get it because that's the points you were bringing up earlier. It's they are going up against a Tremble and a Puppet who are farming pretty well, and you want that kind of recovery tool if anything. But it's going to be a while here. Reason's going to be definitely playing for the late game at this point with that decision right there. Yeah, exactly. That is that the case though? Really, is the question now. Is it too little, too late? Right here.
That's
So
what it's going to come down to. And man, Midas picked up. Oh, are they going for a kill?
no, he's just scouting.
No. Yeah. But with that ultimate down, Tremble could potentially just port to the mound
Yeah.
at the hard camp, and that's a dead Sandwraith. I think he has enough damage with his lightning and the Boris level 2.
Yeah,
But
no, he
no.
does. Yeah, it's only, what, 1,100 life on Samurai? Yeah, not much.
Yeah. I was saying, though, Midas has no steam boots or any boots other than red boots and just went for an Astrolabe, and I really like this because you can see how active they're being. I would usually disagree with it because, you know, if people go for the late game, which has been kind of a style recently, then Astrolabe, it's like 1,700 gold, which gets useless really quickly. But now, they're pushing towers, they're taking their advantage, so they're really making use of the items they've bought.
Yeah.
The same thing with the Shrunken idea.
Okay. Yeah, Astrolabe is definitely a little bit funky to see it on a Midas, but makes sense there with the logic, and they are doing a lot of grouping up and pushing, as we see right here. All 5 of them, in fact, pushing the bottom secondary. It looks like Reason doesn't want to let that go for free necessarily, but they're going to have to. By the time they all get down here, the tower's basically dead, and will they stay is the question. That's a very aggressive Kelpfield with 0 follow-up. Okay, that seemed a little silly. Obviously, some miscommunication there from the Legion team. I mean, Corrupted wasn't even there, obviously, so yeah, it doesn't even make sense why they even remotely tried. And now
Probably
Kelp goes down.
conflicted.
Puppet Master
Yeah.
goes in. That's going to be a dead Bubbles, just like that. No, Arcane Vortex will stall it a little bit longer. They don't want to kill the Puppet just yet, but they're getting him after he comes out. And, oh my God, he's still alive. Finally falls. Took a while there, but Bubbles does go down. Yeah, that was odd from Reason. More so Bubbles there. His play.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it looks kind of like, oh, we want to go in, we don't want to go in, like conflicted decision making. And you really can't have that. You need to be on the same line, and otherwise stuff like that happens. Like Bubbles didn't even need to die though there at the end either.
Yeah.
He just got caught as well. So it's just interesting plays coming out from Owned-Me.
Yeah.
And that gives an opening for Kongor now.
That's going to easily, well, maybe not easily be taken, but they are going to try to trek on it. I mean, it's only Tremble and Midas right now, so it's not the quickest Conger kill ever. But there is no vision from Recent Gaming, and it doesn't look like, I mean, they're kind of in the area. There goes Sandwraith with the ultimate, at least going to scout it out. I don't think it's going to be porting in by any means, but obviously they're very aware now. As Corrupted Disciple runs in, the conduits applies to Tremble. Again, Shrunken Head won't remove it. He's going to take some good drainage right there. He's basically doing 0 damage right now. So, in fact, a negative at that point. And the good decision to back off, actually. So, at least they defend Kongor. Will they try to go for it themselves is the question. Doesn't look like it.
That's a really bad idea. CD ultimate down, Kelpie is still down for 2 seconds, and then Mirage is the big thing that's down. And I mean, they got the sword at the high, so now they really want to wait for that mock of Brilliance.
Yeah. Well, again, you got the Mirage 60-second cooldown, and it's safe to say Druids is pretty aware of the situation here, because they're heading right back towards the Kongor pit themselves. And interested in perhaps doing it. That's an Invis Corrupted, but that's a Rev Ward right here. He has no clue. Oh, he's going to be jumped right there, and now Imba Boy's in trouble! Imba Boy goes down, and that should open up a free Kongor. It's one of those cases, I know it's easy for us to tell, but you got to kind of expect a Rev Ward around Kongor when both teams were just there? I don't know.
I'm not so sure if it's like specifically something
Yeah.
you should expect, especially there at that
That's
point,
true.
because it's like, who on the Legion side has Invis? No one. And so the one time that they, you know, get it from a rune, it's just unfortunate that he runs right into the ward. Like, if he had been slightly more to the right, he would have been fine, but then he ran right up to the up to the Rev Ward.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, he got spotted, he got out, just one of those wrong place, wrong time kind of deals, and now the tower middle lane is going to be heavily pushed in, and who got the token? It is Puppet? Okay. So they give it a Puppet. What do you think about that instead of maybe the Tremble?
Well, I mean, they're not going to target the Tremble when his Shrunken is up. They only have auto attacks in that case. And Puppet Master is a lot squishier, and if the Mock Sandwraith jumps him as well as the Bubbles, then You know, because he doesn't have a Shrunken, he could be in some trouble. But that token kind of averts that as well. And they're really gonna let them deny? Okay.
Yeah. they do. That is a little interesting, but they may try to get a kill out of it though. Look at that. So they let them deny, get a little comfortable, and Imboboy's like, okay, I'll go farm this big creep wave up here, and he goes down. Arcane Vortex going to be used, stalling them a little bit. Actually, this is working out pretty well for Reason in the end. It looks like it at least minus he will fall. Puppet Master also going to get taken out. Token of Life going to be used, of course, but guess who's not here this whole fight? It's good old Tremble. He is still not here, in fact, and Puppet Master will be picked off. I don't even know what to think about what just happened right there, but a hat trick for Zane on Sandwraith, and now Raising Game, it is definitely once again back in this game all of a sudden.
Like, holy crap, that was only the Mock of Brilliance. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
So much AoE damage. I mean, of course, they were all clumped up by that great Moira ultimate, which unfortunately did not save the Corrupt Disciple, but man, holy crap, there was so much, like, going for them in that fight. Like, you know, usually it's kind of lucky with the Moira ultimate that the heroes end up in different places usually. But in this case, they were all stacked right on top of each other. Perfect for this bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was so odd, though. It's like Druids, they not only let them deny the tower, but then they went for the flank, and it seemed like that was going to be a smart decision, you know, pick off the Corrupted, then fall back, if anything. But obviously, Reason was in a spot to then react to the Corrupted as he was pushing out the middle lane and not having Tremble there. So really, it's just Druids, they all of a sudden looked a little sloppy with their coordination, not on the same page, and obviously backfired big time. So Tremble, sure, he's still very scary right now. 533 gold per minute. He's got the Brutalizer, of course, on top of the Shrunken, the Thunderclaw, and hell, another 2,000 gold already saved up. But this Corrupted, the Sandwraith, as you pointed out, with the Mock of Brilliance especially, and the team support around him is starting to build up now a little bit. Hell, another 1,800 on Cthulhu Font, who now has his portal key. Third hat trick for Sandwraith. With Zane is...
And yeah, Zane is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's 6-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? Huh. That's an interesting stat right there. He picks
I
up
mean,
a hat trick
it's
there.
kind of obvious. Like when Zane is doing really well, usually his team is also doing well, being that suicide hero. Bottom lane.
Speaking of Zane, he's going to be swapped in. There's the stun. He did use his ulti. He's going to port somewhere he is, and look at that. He's going to try to run away with it. Is he actually going to make the escape? Oh, man. Port. Will they get him? Transmute? No! He can't get away. Well played by Zane initially, but they just catch him in time. Cracky's able to find him, so whew, that would have been something as far as a getaway goes. He does have a buyback, by the way, but he doesn't have Mirage, and that's pretty crucial as they're pushing in here.
Yeah, Mirage is the reason why he does that much damage.
Yeah.
And now, oh, Bubbles! That's a screw up.
That's just like earlier. I don't know what the deal is, man. Corrupt the Disciple. He's now in a lot of trouble right here, dropping a half-life. Pops a conduit, though. Look at Treble's damage now once again being absorbed like crazy. Meanwhile, Corrupt is hitting like a freaking truck. You do not want to fight this at all, so they will fall back. But what? He Kelfield's right there. Okay, he does jump in with the Kelfield and actually is going to catch Andromeda as well as Engineer as Tremble dies as well. I'm so confused, honestly. What just happened? Midas goes down. I could have sworn he used Kelfield before. That was so weird. I guess he didn't.
No, that was the last time they pushed.
Yeah. I thought he bought like a Resto Stone or something. And then we used his second Kelfo. That was... anyways, explain what happened there, Shortcan.
I honestly have no idea. How did Reason win that fight without Sandwraith ultimate? I mean, he did end up buying back, of course, but my god.
Yeah.
CD was hitting really hard, but other than that, like, did Tankafet hit everyone with his ultimate? Just every single beam?
Well,
I don't know.
I got the replay up right here, so maybe we can just get a little bit something extra from that. I mean, the Arcane Board, yeah, Corrupt the Disciple was hitting hard, but the energy field stalled him a lot. But then obviously Bubbles buying back, he came in with a great Kelfield right there. And then I mean, yeah, I guess it's just then the team was able to follow up. Corrupted eventually joined them. Sandwraith got in there, and it was just really raw damage. Nothing too flashy, I noticed, but simply the Kelfield is what really did it, though. I mean, that held them in place to the point where they were able to catch up and get the kill. So well played by Onmi there. Bubbles.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's trying to make up for his earlier fails on the lane.
Yeah.
We did call him out for it. And, okay, Sandrith? Nope,
Yep.
just scouting.
That's always one of those tricky things with this hero. Both as a player, I'm sure, but as a spectator, too. It's like, is he actually going? Nah, never mind.
Yeah.
Team's insistent on using it as a scouting tool nowadays. As we talked about with the Flux, the Thunderbringer even idea.
Yeah, I mean, Reason being one of the teams that picked up Thunderbringer, of course.
Corrupted Disciple. I think Imbaboy likes to do this. He's going the Assassin Shroud. What is your take on Assassin Shroud Corrupted?
Okay, this takes me back. This takes me back all the way to Dota 1.
Okay.
There's a pause, so I can explain my story. Okay, so when I was like 1500 noob, pretty much, I would
Alright.
play Razor, which was the switch,
Equivalent.
the equivalent of Corrupt Disciple. And what I would do every single game was buy a Shroud, and then just ultimate, and go Shroud next to people because nobody bought Rev Wards, and then they would just die from my ultimate alone.
Okay.
So, I mean, there is that fact that you can ulti while you're invis and stuff, but it mainly comes down to the fact that you get such good mobility with it, and I'm sure that Genjiro is absolutely amazing on CD. I'm not entirely sure how good it is in competitive games because we just don't see the hero very often.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I think the hero has such potential because of the fact that it works as an anti-carry as well. Shrunkens don't work because of the W, Corrupt Conduit, and at the same time, like, he's got kind of a farming ability with his Q, and then he has a static discharge, which, although it might not seem like it does a lot, it gives him 12% movement speed, making him even more mobile, and then on top of that, I'm sure the purges add up.
Yeah,
You know?
that is one of those abilities that you almost forget that he has it. You know, kind of like the Swiftblade pass, not his crit, but the other one. Don't even blank on the
counterattack.
name. Yeah, counterattack. The one that it's one of those like, yeah, it's not really the sexiest ability, and it's understandable why people don't level it up earlier on in the game by any means, but late game, I mean, if you happen to be max level especially, or later on in the game, you have at least one or two or even max points into it. It's at least it's doing a lot in the end. Matt H, he will get picked off there, so Puppet Master gets a free kill using that Assassin Shroud, it looks like. But
Yeah, and ultimate.
but yeah, so that's what I see about Static Discharge, though. It's just one of those, it is actually doing more than you may realize in those fights. And yeah, kind of looking over now. But you pointed out the movement speed. Yeah, this is a hero that constantly is up there as far as running people down. I mean, right now moving 403 just without any buffs from that or anything. So quite fast. Tremble's also quite fast in his mount right here, 481 movement speed.
I gotta say, oh, bottom lane.
Moira,
Woods.
poor guy.
Wow.
He's dead.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much he can do there.
What do you got to
But-
say, though?
Engineer, you know, it's quite unfortunate. He didn't go for mines, even though they were nerfed a bit. I think the mine trap. Oh, bottom lane.
They're going to try to catch. There we go with Cthulhu Font. Sandrith, he comes in as well. An Engineer. Speaking of him right there, nice keg stun. Is it going to be enough? Oh, my God, it is. No. The Mocker Brilliance damage gets the kill, and he ports out as well. Well played right there by Zane especially. And Cthulhu Font. Being played by Tankafet there.
Yeah, making sure to just port out to elude any danger. Because, I mean, Engineer didn't have anything left. I would say, though, had he turreted there to push Sandrith further away so that, you know,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have the muck on him, maybe he would have survived. Or, you know, if he had investments, because he still doesn't have investments. And I don't understand that. I really don't. Like, it really bothers me. It's okay for Tremble not to have it because he needs support and he has a Shrunken. But supports, man, like, you have 1400 HP.
Yeah.
Like, get investments. It makes you so much tankier versus things like a Mach, like Cthulhu Ultimate, like Bubbles, Moira as well. It's, oh, man, it really bothers me. Like,
I agree. It's especially, you know, when he's sitting with it's not like he doesn't have inventory space. I mean, hell, he has a minor totem he still has in his inventory. So if anything, could just simply replace that with a Mystic Vestment. But and yeah, he's obviously not hurting for gold, farming nearly 200 gold from it. It has a tablet and an energizer, so if he had it there, he would have lived. I mean, there's no doubt. He just barely died to that Maka Brilliant. So, yeah, I think there's great justification as to what you're saying. And it's not rocket science by any means. I mean, Andromeda, a little more understanding perhaps, because, again, he's clearly being the ward guy here and having to deal with that situation. But, I mean, even now it does have 900 gold saved up, so you could argue that 500 of that might be worth to spend on a Mystic Vestment, but in the end...
I mean, what else is he going to go? I would only see... Oh, he did get a vestment.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, being a good example for Engineer, who still hasn't picked one up. Oh, man. And he's not maxing mines, which, like, at a certain point, like, Engineer manages to farm so quickly with mines. I know that they got nerfed slightly, but for me, personally, even with the nerf, they still do so much damage, and it's more burst than, for example, the turret, which is the biggest thing. The fact that it's actually burst. But, yeah.
That, I agree with you, and I was saying that too. And when the change first happened, and you were clearly a big advocate of it, we saw it many times on you. And other NG players, it seems like we have been seeing it more and more. It seems like the ones that do this with the turret build, they're kind of stuck in the past. I mean, I cannot see a valid argument for going more than level 1 turret over maxing out the mines. I really can't. I cannot see the justification for it. And I think that's kind of what you're saying there too.
Yeah.
As far as that logic goes, so I think it's just more of it. Again, they're kind of stuck in the past with it. It's what they're used to, maybe just from previously. Iceland Gogo, he might not play this hero necessarily a whole lot, so maybe not thinking about that. But
of the supports that he plays, when he doesn't jungle, Engineer is one of the heroes he plays, pretty much. So I just it's difficult to say because he was in like a dual lane originally. I don't know what that was. Sorry.
Trumpet or something.
Yeah, a dual lane or something like that. But I mean, even when you're roaming, like level one of mine, level 1 does 125 burst damage, which is more than the difference from Steam Turret from level 1 to level 2. Mm-hmm. So why would you not level it up?
Yeah.
And then there's the idea that you can make, mine traps or even use them to block enemy camps or, get a rune ward pretty much.
Yeah.
There's just so many uses for it.
We saw Insania pick it up against Recent Gaming, I believe it was, in their series, and he actually had several mine traps that did a lot of work in that series. It was fun to watch. So yeah, but again, he is level 14 now, so obviously he has it all maxed out. But so this is talking about, of course, earlier game. And the justification there, but
now there's a Shrunken on Imbaboy and on Zane already, so that lessens the
true.
Yeah. Like if they walk into a mine trap, then they're just gonna be like, oh, okay, he's porting, maybe.
Is he? Yeah, he's going top lane. Midas gets caught. Nice tablet though. However, oh look at that, a Frostfield play from Cthulhu, and they will catch Midas in the end as Bubble's there to also follow it up. So. Again, taking advantage of the global aspect there of Sandwraith, as he is going to be able to port out in time, pending a Brutalizer proc right there. He was fine anyway, so. Tremble, by the way, though, does have a Frostwolf Skull picked up now. Cthulhu getting held in place by Puppet Master. Voodoo Puppet comes out. That should be a kill, yeah, pretty easily, in fact, as they do catch him out. So at least they get a little bit of revenge there. A Cthulhu for the Midas, and the push top continues, apparently. By the way, Treble's token, 240 still remaining on it. Yeah, that's true. No Mystic Vestments. I don't know if that would have saved him there by any means.
Well, Puppet Master Ultimate is all magic damage. It's not going to save him, but it's still a huge deal.
Yeah, that's true.
He's also facing a team with a lot of magic damage now, including the Thunderclaw, which procs a lot with Tremble. It's just like, why not get it? I mean, it's only 500 gold.
No, you have to say it like this, by the way. There you go.
Hashtag Vestments.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not with the times.
I know
yet,
you're new to this still, so that's the way from now on. Okay.
Okay.
Puppet Master Warp Cleft picked up. I'm a little confused by that.
I mean, I know Zibby likes lightning on Puppet Master, but it's
this late? That seems almost a little silly, but
you do get more crit procs.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, attack speed with the whiplash, it's not the worst idea by any means. Wait, well, is it more likely to be that though, or maybe a full demonic? You think? But I mean, if you was going that, you think the Soul's Bower could be first.
It's gonna be a strange day when I see a Puppet Master with a demonic breaking.
All right.
That's all I can say, because it's so like, what's it called? It's not like it doesn't follow your instinct. You know, it's just so weird. It's a weird item
Yeah.
on a Puppet Master. You expect like offensive items and then, you know, lockdown, CC, all that stuff, but demonic.
But see, again, it goes. But the logic that you're just using right there with attack speed, how it's good with the whiplash. I mean, there's only two
Yeah.
items that use this warp cleft here, obviously. So I don't know.
That's true.
I could see it, but yeah, no, I do see what you're getting at the same time. And obviously, that's a lot more gold in the end than just simply a Thunderclaw, to be fair. So if he just wants the attack speed aspect of it, then probably makes a little more sense.
And I don't know how much armor is going to do for him, because it's been mainly just, well, I mean, I guess with the Shrunken out, it is going to do a lot more, but it still felt kind of weird. Man, they're defending this so, like, the Hellborn is so scared.
Yeah.
They're so afraid.
The counter push of the Legion side, it doesn't seem like it's that crazy either. I mean, I guess Bubbles and probably Corrupted even are decent at it.
Yeah.
But
They can't really go on Corrupted, though, due to that Shrunken Head, unless they get, like, a puppet show on him.
yeah.
Because Tremble can't just go in and hit him.
You see all the mounds being placed around here by Tremble. Getting some good spots to be able to juke and jive in case a fight does break out here.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Bite it
Please,
up. That's for-
stop it.
There
Quincy.
you go. There you go. This is so. He has done it before. This is going to be Scout, right? They're not chasing. Oh well, he's going actually. See if
On
he
the
can get
Engineer and
somebody.
Andro, oh, man.
Oh no.
Okay, no.
Those tablets too strong. And the
Yeah,
Astrolabe.
He didn't actually click on them. Unfortunately, he only he clicked on the ground, so it didn't follow them afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Because if it follows them afterwards, then
What?
they have like the freedom to see what's going on.
Look at Zane, by the way. 3,700 gold saved up now, man. What is he buying here? Well, there we go. Firebrand.
Yeah, he just answered your question. But
Yeah.
Mirage is down now, and Hellborn's like, let's do this.
Now it makes
Kind of
sense.
silly for him, yeah. But wow, the counter push is actually quite intense.
Yeah, I guess I almost underestimated the electric tide. It's just pretty good apparently. Oop, that's a quick kill. I don't even know what that was, but he ate it, whatever it was.
He ate it.
Did
Okay.
Cthulhu font. So was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Cannon.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Anyways, that's going to be enough to fall back. Threatening enough to not feel comfortable. Obviously, even with Mirage down, they're still just not the most comfortable yet. I mean, how do you like that decision right there? I mean, they don't have token, to be fair, and whatnot, so you find with Druids falling back.
I don't know. I'm kind of afraid for them because they're the ones who are going to be picked off easily. I mean, Legion, of course, can get picked off by the Puppet Master as well, and
Yeah.
maybe even Probusk, but it's a lot more likely for the more global team to be ganking, I would say. And then Cthulhu Font, 2k gold saved up. I really am curious to see what he's going to go. Whether he's going to go for maybe even a puzzle box or, you know, a sheep stick, also very useful right now.
For Cthulhu font?
Yeah, for Cthulhu Font. Because, I mean, he could go the demonic, of course, but it's, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right on that hero either.
No. Yeah, no. I am no. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those, like, a Soul's Bulwark I could see, but a full demonic maybe seems a little over the top.
If anyone gets a demonic, I think it should be Sandwraith, but late into the game. Because, I mean, we have some stats on demonic saying that he really wins a lot. Like, well, not with Sandwraith, but just in general, the item wins a lot of games.
Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of auras, actually, I don't see a Ring of the Teacher buff on either side right now, and that's one of those, again, just little things that you figure at this point of the game we'd at least see it on one side, if not both.
Top
But,
lane.
not happening here. Midas trying to get away, using the tablet over the ledge. Unfortunately, still a lot of damage coming out. Bubble shells are through, and with that, Mana Sunder especially, no chance in the end for him to get away. So the chase was real, and that's just one of those things for Druids. If any of them are by themselves, then they are very vulnerable, of course, against this Legion side here with that jump. So the global jump here of Sandwraith and whatnot. It's happened now several times, and I mean the lead still remains in favor of Druids slightly, but it does feel like that that this Legion side are raising game, and they're kind of just grinding this out right here.
Well, they do really want to make it go late, it looks like, and I'm still not entirely sure if they win it when it comes down to one-on-one hitting each other.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately what it comes down to, but I mean, 5k gold saved up on Tremble, 3k gold saved up on Puppet Master, so...
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Wingbow is a possibility on Tremble, because he has 3k HP. And it's not very likely for Corrupt Disciple or Sandwraith to get a Savage right now. Maybe CD, but then he's really squishy.
No, yeah, I think Wingbow's a great option here, definitely, for Probusk. Don't see much logic in it. Much, I mean, obviously, stuff like a Savage himself. Excuse me, there wouldn't be out of the question either, but he's kind of got that lockdown with the Brutalizer, so.
Savage might actually be the better option because he is really, really tanky.
Yeah.
And, I mean, eventually CD is going to want to pick up a Wingbow as well as the Sandwraith. And if he gets it now, he's just taking like a preventative measure, so to speak, which I think is a pretty good idea. And is he jumping?
Scaring them off. Doesn't look like it. Just keeping them guessing, though. Obviously, Kongor is up, so perhaps another reason for that. And noticing that they were at least in the area. But
well, now they're going to do it because Mirage is down.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was going to say, I mean, they should have picked up on that. But so Mora is going to scout it here for sure. In fact, even throws on an Arcane Vortex to stall them as much as possible. But they're not even defending. They just say it's done. Let's just let it be. Let's just push out of the lanes here, I guess. And that's going to be a free Kongor kill.
Oh, man. Look at the farm on Tremble. Holy crap. He's just going to have to replace his Lightning with a Savage, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then he's all set. And it's a Demonic. Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
You sound unsure. Yeah, Quincy's stats backed that up. He's done it before, apparently. So.
Yeah. I mean, now he is hitting fast, and it does make more sense than Lightning, eventually.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that Demonic's a bad item. I mean, I understand what you're saying about on the hero itself. It does seem almost funky being on him, but hey, attack speed is good for the hero. If we kind of justify that with the Whiplash, so I guess in essence, why not? And they didn't have a Soul's Bulwark yet, so get that aura for the team.
Team items and win the game.
Yeah.
Now they need the W. I mean, they have the token. Do they also have bananas? No, they were not dropped. No,
wait.
they were not.
Who is?
I thought they were.
No, bananas are still there because competitive scene. Like I don't know how we see this so often, but it feels
I don't know.
like
Wasn't it Solar Club versus Reason?
We've seen it several times. Honestly,
Yeah, okay.
Like I couldn't tell you the exact matchups, but I know this is definitely not a first and it won't be the last. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I guess the teams just aren't ultimately thinking about it. They only think token and. By the way, there's bananas in the well. Is the courier going to pick them up, maybe? No, it's fine. No, it just flies right over it. Okay.
No. Yeah, that's fine.
Never mind.
To be honest, I'm liking the Demonic more and more because it means that he didn't go for a Genjuro.
That's true. Swap right there on a Tremble as he got trampled initially. Andromeda pretty tanky after that swap as because of that buff. Bubbles picked up in the background. Does buy back though. Energy field is down. Corrupt Disciple trying to do enough damage, but he gets caught in the front lines. He goes down. Sandwraith, he's diving though. He wants to kill an Engineer, but he's going really far for this. You gotta wonder if it's worth it in the end. Engie does end up dying, but they will set up a counter kill on Zane right there. It's not over just yet though. Puppet Master gets caught in the Arcane Vortex with Tremble. The Legion side, this is a pretty good chance for them actually to clean up some kills. Puppet Master sells a token, by the way. The trample on a Tremble, but Tremble now putting out some auto attacks. Corrupt Disciple getting locked down by the Transmute, and he's going to fall shortly after. Tremble's too tanky, too powerful. A hat trick for Probusk, and they're going to clean up right here. A quad kill for Probusk in the end, and he still has the token. Does Zebe, that is. And there's the poach you can see it. I was going to say, I don't know if Reason really has much fighting power left in them. They use several buybacks there. You see again, but here comes the push. And, well, maybe Reason on a different page as a team right here, but I think it's safe to say this is the end coming up. Well, maybe not
Fake
just
concede?
Fake concede, try to catch them off guard, I guess. That's not going to happen,
But, my God, Tremble.
Yeah. Let's just feed them more kills real quickly.
Okay, I'm going to have to catch myself. Wingbow was definitely the right option. Holy crap, he survived because of that.
Yeah, all those evasions coming out.
Yeah.
That'll happen. That'll happen. So, well played by Druids there in the end, and ultimately securing the victory over Reason Gaming here in this game one of this best out of 5. So, final thoughts, though, on that game and that final fight even.
Yeah, that final fight was really interesting because they managed to get the fight outside of the base, which is definitely something Reason didn't want to do. And that's really well played by Druids, by the fact that Andro suicided herself, literally, to keep the fight in the back, you know? And then Tremble was able to turn it around once he was done being locked down, and then shrunken up, take down everyone. And then when everybody bought back, it felt like, you know, Reason would have the upper hand, but they had used all their abilities already. Like, Corrupt Conduit was down as well as his ultimate. Mirage was down, so in the end, they're trying to out-hit a Tremble who's just so good at hitting people that it really didn't work out for them. So, yeah, that's my thing on the last fight. But other than that, in the entire game, Probusk did a really good job at staying farmed, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, Reason was trying to turn it around with good team fights and some pickoffs, but at the same time, Probusk was just farming away, man.
Yeah.
370